Welcome everyone to another one of our heart-powered, inspiring interviews that we share with you regularly to introduce you to an amazing entrepreneur, change maker, speaker. And again, today we have an amazing guest with us. Her name is Mylgia van Uytrecht. I hope I'm saying the name correctly, but she's an amazing lady. And we had her recently also on our Speaker Business monthly community call, where she was all about making us love and also really sharing how to use humor in speaking in business. And everyone that was there loved it. Well, who is Mylgia? And today she's with all of us and all of you. She's really a lively Dutch woman. She has been at home on the stand-up stages of Germany for not one, not two, not three, but 5 years already. And in over 200 performances, she has thrilled her audiences with her spontaneous wordplay and her fine powers of observation. She's a coach for stage presence, and she supports speakers to make their speeches and performances more effective. She's also the author of her amazing humorous German book, Nicht runzeln, Lieber schmunzeln. In English, it's like don't frown, rather smile. And that's what she brings to all of us, a lot of smiles on our face. And she sparkles up the day of everyone that she spends time with and with us today. And she's also right now the president of Cologne Toastmasters in Germany. She's a professional speaker at the German Speakers Association. She's a presenter, she's a voiceover artist, and what I love about her, besides putting a smile on our face, she makes us dance and move because she's a Zumba Education Specialist. And I can tell you, Mylgia is really someone that's always spreading energy and joie de vivre. Well, Mylgia, it's so great to have you with us today.
Thank you, Monique, for these wonderful words and the nice introduction. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. It's so great to have you. You know, every time we spend time together, you inspire me. I learn something new about how to bring more humor into my life and my business. But I know a lot of people say the last couple of years haven't been very easy for a lot of people in business. So what are you doing right now? You know, what are your 3 success tips to bring everything that you do to a different level?
The first thing that I think is very important to be honest about how you feel and stay true to that. But at the same time, it's ambiguous. So be honest if you're feeling sad or disturbed or worried, but don't focus on it too much so it's get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's not easy just to say, oh, I see the problem and I'm not going to worry. But being more aware about that problem is not the biggest thing in your life. Something was running well, and then a disturbance is coming. And so focus on the possibilities instead of the impossibilities. It's about the focus. So I think that will really help to lighten up and not only see the big heavy thing going over us and we're like helpless. Right. So focus on the more lighter stuff, but acknowledge that the problems are there. You don't have to wave them away. So that's the first one.
Great. And I know that you love to really also send personal messages from stage. How do you do that? And how does it help you grow your business?
Important, but I mean from stages that wherever you are, where you're interacting with people. So that's your stage. That's the where you connect with people, and the connection is very important. And what I emphasize is the personal perspective of things. So I can just tell you, so get up your head straight and don't worry. So everybody can say that. And what I meant is get it personal. So I know how it is to have a tough situation and that it's really a struggle to get over it. But the experience that you managed to share this personal side of your story, that's when you touch people. And then when they recognize what they have in common with you, that can help them to to change something because they are touched by you, and not only because you say, oh, you need to do this, or don't worry so much, or get your act together. It's only a message everybody can tell, but the personal side of you when you connect with people. So even if you share something, that if you make a little mistake or something didn't work, share those things with your people, so everybody can learn from that. That's what I meant with what I mean with sending a personal message from your stage.
I love it. And you also use humor a lot in your speaking, in business. You know, I'm sure it lights up your day as well, because I can see there's always a smile, there's always you know, lightness and joy around you. So how do you bring that into business, and how would you know, what are some little hints and tips of how others, you know, everyone here that's here with us today can also do that?
The humor is always the how you cope with something that goes wrong, and then you cope it with more lightness. So there's always a setup, which is a problem, a hurt, something that's hurting you. And since we have these troubling situations in the work situation, in adapting with the new situation, working at home, or conflicts, being able to not focusing on the problem and see them go bigger and bigger, and then you get yourself smaller and like, oh, I cannot do anything right, and now this is going against me again. It's happening automatically, and to be able to feel not that it's something against you, but seeing how you can stay in there and observe the things in a way that it's always, what helps is the looking at from the other perspective. And if you see it from the other's perspective, there's most of the time something that you're not going to be but something you say, I didn't look at it like that. So forgive yourself for not knowing something. Forgive yourself for having a small misunderstanding or something that's disturbing. Catch yourself being grumpy in the morning because you didn't get your coffee yet, and see that it's maybe not such a big deal. And then go to somebody and share, this morning I was so grumpy until I got my coffee. Do you know that? But then it's a lighter vision instead of, and do you have it too? And then two people or more people are being influencing themselves to the negative side. Right. So laughing makes things more easy, more light.
I loved how in our other session you gave some concrete examples of what people could do to bring that lightness into it. So instead of saying, I was grumpy this morning until I had my coffee, I could say, I was grumpy this morning until I had my coffee. I looked into the mug and it was smiling at me, or something like that, right? So again, you're talking, bringing things alive and bringing humor in. Can you give an example of, you know, what do you do? And maybe one concrete situation in your life when you were grumpy or when you were angry or frustrated, and you know, how you turn it around, and, you know, give some concrete examples of how everyone that's with us today can do it.
Okay, since you introduced me, that I'm not doing a stand-up comedian right now, but I did actually for many years. So for me, the system is implemented with many of tools. But for example, my husband needed to go with the car. And since we are not going any place, he said, oh my God, the tank is half empty. They say, hey, you're lucky, it's half full. And it's just it's a small thing to turn around and see it. It's not so bad. But to make it more serious, when I was really in the tough situation where I didn't get a job yet. I was not working in Germany and I was a lone mom and I didn't get the language. So I was really depressed on the situation. And I was trying to get jobs and I was trying to get a place to live. And I was like this, I don't know, my mouth was always hanging. And I was rejected a lot. And I thought I was deserved to be rejected. And then it struck to me that I noticed that I would not even choose me if I would offer myself to go work there or get a work. And you see, it's ambiguous again, that I would notice that why should they work with me if I cannot even stand myself? And it's not a joke, but it helped me to realize, please lighten up, because it's not a joy to be with yourself. How can you expect others to be in joy with you?
And how do you lighten up? How do you do it? How did you do it? How did you turn it around?
One concrete things is collect. There are some moments in a day where you're able to smile, so don't wait until you're really on the ground and everything is already breaking up. But on a regular day where you have your sorrows, there are some things that you think it's funny and you notice you smile. Capture the moment. If somebody gives you a compliment, maybe then you're like depending on somebody giving to you, but that's a moment where you get the smile. But even if you're looking at your coffee cup and then you see the surface of the coffee is smiling at you, and it's that's funny, something really small. Or you put on your t-shirt and you notice it's backwards for a moment because you do too much, and then I didn't notice. Laugh about it and then go share. Then go to the next person and just share this lightly moment and share something to laugh, because the same that problems are magnetic to getting more problems. Did you hear what happened to this person? Yes, and even worse. The same thing happens if you say, well, this morning I put my shirt on backward and the next person need to tell me that I need to turn it around. I was so embarrassed. Just be human helps us to be relieved that it's okay being a human. Yeah. And then you feel so much lighter instead of trying to hide such human things. Just immerse yourself about it.
And you do it so naturally and beautifully, Mylgia, that, again, like, for example, we said, that person said about, have you heard, right? Even changing the voice when we speak about these things kind of breaks that pattern of complaint and, negativity, right? I love it. Good. So, as you know, and you're a woman of action, I always see you like you're moderating, sessions with others, and you're on stage and you're everywhere. Since I've met you, I suddenly see you everywhere, which is amazing. So you're a woman of action like I am. And you know that only what we really do is getting us results and changing things around. So what are things that you're doing on a regular basis? Because what we do on a regular basis, we call it a habit, right? So what do you do on a regular basis? What is a habit for you to really bring, what would you say is a success habit that really helped you to turn things around? When you were not finding jobs, when you weren't very active, when you maybe just landed in Germany, it was a hard time, or even today in your daily life, what is something you do on a regular basis that really lifts everything up?
Ambiguity was guiding us through the whole conversation. And here's another thing, the cliche about stepping out of your comfort zone. For me, I don't know what's a comfort zone because I'm always outside of it. I'm a habit collector, and which helps me to do always new stuff. If I know I cannot do something, I cannot know because I didn't do it yet. And I try. If you don't know, if you cannot do something, it's going to stay like that if you don't change anything. And what does it mean for me in my daily life? I expand. There's always some goals in a stage of becoming a habit. So many years ago, I was working in a place for 1 month, and there it was in the pension. They told me to wipe the wall with to get the water off. I did it every day because I was a guest there. I'm doing it every day since. And so it become a habit within a month. And that's just a small example. And for something else, in being me in Germany, I needed to adapt to be able to communicate with people. So I made it a focus for a while to be more aware how people approach me. And I try to copy that. So that comes natural after many years. Recently, I'm trying to, I'm doing more morning and evening routines. I'm implementing them in my system. In the same time, something I didn't know to do yet was drawing, but I'm drawing characteristics. I need to accept that I cannot draw and make a style out of it. So I'm always trying new things and not settling with, I don't know yet. And maybe people can see that. I don't like to push buttons if I don't know what's there. If something is working, I keep with the strict structure. That's also the person in me. But if I notice that I'm not getting somewhere because I'm afraid to push some new button, then I will. And to make it concrete, there are so many people I notice they don't use any online banking, which is not easy to be in business if people are not using it, for example. And I try to make them see they don't need to convert, but that it's not the bank in the way, it's the way that they're not open for new things. And just setting the message, helping. So I do it from both sides, expanding myself, but also I feel that it's okay for me to help people to also be more open. Yeah, and the banking is just a metaphor for anything that we set ourselves something in the way.
Yes, and I believe that in business, we are always, every single day, faced with something we haven't done before that we need to start doing, right?
Yes.
So I love it. And, I love how you say that my habit is to implement new habits and to really step into the unknown and do things that I don't know how to do them, to just start just doing them. And not only that, Mylgia, I really feel like you are doing them with lightness and ease and joy and try to wonder. Let me try it out. Let me have fun, right?
And I must admit that there are some things that keep being hard for me. Some things don't come natural. So I accept that and don't force myself. So I make my business and the things that I do where I can work intrinsically motivated, and I don't force myself to do the stuff that come hard for me, but I'm aware of them and I see what can I do to make that export a little bit more light and do this small thing that will help me to open that portion up. But I'm not going to focus on the hard stuff and force myself all the time. I don't do it. And it makes me feel like it's having a lighter life.
Yes, and I can see that, everything around you is joyful and light and beautiful and fun. And, Mylgia, also everyone, and I hope that you're picking up the vibes, the energy from Mylgia, the lightness, the joie, the vivre, the joy, and bring it into your own business and your own life. Because when you bring it into your life, you'll ignite others to bring that lightness in as well. And I think we all need that so much, especially in the current times. So Mylgia, as you know, we spoke about how important it is to take action. So every time when we have an amazing interview like this one with you, we ask our guests, and today we ask you, what is one thing that we spoke about, or maybe something else, that people can do today to turn their learning and their inspiration into real action, so they start shifting things for themselves and their business?
Please don't take yourself so seriously. We are only human. So please notice something where you were like, oh, I did something like that, and go and share. And then you collect your people, your colleagues, the person you work together, even your clients. They open up and feel you're human, and they feel more trust. If we're trying to hide the things that are going under there because we want to get our how we to look straight, then we're losing the connection a little bit because we are keeping things up. And you need to do that, of course, but don't take yourself so seriously all the time, and be true to your inner. So what you do, even if you, let's say you trip the coffee, you don't do it, but it happens. I don't drink coffee for that reason. Go and don't brag, but tell somebody. Say, oh, yes, it happened to me yesterday as well. Yeah, it can be something that you wanted to say something, but your mouth said something else. You say, oh, how did it happen to me? And go tell somebody, and they are so relieved that you are not perfect or trying or pretending to be. So it really opens up the connection. People feel more trust, and that's going to help you grow your business.
I love it. And let's make it very concrete. Okay, so why don't we all today just play with that? Whenever there's a moment in your day that you feel like, oh, and that, there, either something that wasn't really like how you wanted it to go, turn it around into something positive and say, how can I add this little light and humor onto it? Or when you experience a moment, when you feel like, oh, there was a smile or even a full out laughter that you had in your day. Why don't you first of all observe it, honor it, and then you share it with someone, maybe in a conversation or maybe in a LinkedIn post or in another way. So why don't we play with that, Mylgia? Today we are more observing of how we can turn nasty moments into funny moments, or moments that make us laugh or smile already, and we share that with someone else today, in whatever way works best for you. And as always, we cheer you on. Okay, share with us like what is happening to you today, what makes you laugh, or how did you turn a nasty moment into a funny moment, and how are you sharing it with others? Share it with us. We're cheering you on. We'd celebrate you. And again, maybe we can all share some smiles with each other today in our amazing community. Thank you so much, Mylgia, for being with us today. So before we round it off, I think, again, we should tell everyone again about your amazing book. Tell us about your book and, how and where can we find it? And if people want to connect with you, how can they connect with you?
It's really easy to connect with me if you can write my name, Mylgia. Then you're always going to be at one of my sites. You find me in the social media. This is the book, and it's not for children. It's just the lightness. That's the way I can draw right now, and it's my style now. And it's humorous short stories for more lightness. They are the happenings that everyday life. You will see that if you go to the bakery store and the bakery woman who sells you bread, what can I do for you? Oh, so like that. And then she's gonna get your energy, say, I don't like my day because she spoiled it. And we can go and reflect and see what's your part in the situation, and do you get your energy down only because they are not entitled to get you, but it's it helps you to reflect on those things on a light and humorous way. You can find it in every bookstore and on Amazon and or whatever portal.
And we should say for everyone that speaks German, by the way, but we're all waiting for the English version, Mylgia. Okay,
Yes, and I'm still struggling to translate the title even, but it's about.
I love your title. I love your title. Okay, I love your title. Don't frown, rather smile. It's perfect. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the title is perfect, but it doesn't work in English because it's no rhyme, and then you have other words from.
It doesn't need to rhyme. Just translate it. We want to read it. Okay.
You're so
the good news is I have an advantage. I do speak German, so I'm definitely gonna order my copy, and I can't wait to read it. Okay. So, and people want to connect with you. Where do they best find you? Your website or LinkedIn?
My website It's speaker.mylgia.de, and you find me on, please use LinkedIn if you really want to connect with me. I do have too much followers in Facebook, and I always love to have more followers over there. Instagram, you're almost welcome, and also there I can read messages. Only in Facebook with 4 profile, it's a little bit hard to read the messages. So please connect with me on LinkedIn, and also personal messages. I really like to be in touch with people, and I always answer, and I like if it's more personal. So that's how I interact with people. And the feedback is that they feel like they're in touch and that they can get something to grow and feel supported. So I can also, please, if you use somebody to help to when you need to speak and it has to be more humorous or more light, I do some coaching as well. Please contact me. But this one is the most coolest one, the Mylgia to go and the lightness to go.
I'm sure your book is amazing, and you are even more amazing, Mylgia. So every one of you, if you want to bring more humor into your speeches, you want to make your presentations more impactful, and if you want to add more sparkle into your day, you definitely want to be in touch with Mylgia. So don't miss the opportunity to connect with her. And again, as you said today, play with us today. Take us up on our challenge. Really pick something today that makes you smile, or something where you turn a tough moment into a funny moment. We want to hear from you what you did with that. Mylgia, thank you for being with us today. You definitely put that smile and that sparkle into our day already, into my day, and I hope into all of your days. Thank you for being on with us, Mylgia, and keep shining, keep smiling, okay, keep spreading this joie de vivre in the world. And all of you, thank you for being with us on a regular basis. Thank you for being loyal. Thank you for inviting all of your friends to share these interviews with them, to light up their day, to sparkle, to add sparkle to their day, in life and in business. And Mylgia, do you want to say something at the end of it, or?
I just want to tell you, I have 2 things for you, because you make it more whole when I say, and then you capture it, and so it's a teamwork. I really loved it. Thank you. First, I get you a high five.
High five. Woo-hoo.
High five. And this one is the heart business, and like this, it's a more bigger heart, because I really enjoy this.
I like this one too.
Thank you very much.
Right. And some people do this one, right, as well.
Yeah, always a pleasure being in touch with you. So keep up good work.
Thank you, Mylgia, for being on with us. Thank you all for being on with us on a regular basis. Again, share this interview with someone where you feel they need this extra sparkle in their life and in their business. And see you soon again at another one of our heart-powered inspiring interviews. In the meantime, keep doing your magic, as you always say. Speak up, scale up, impact the world in your own magical way. All our love to you. All the best for now.